Hi. Welcome to YouTube. I'm Gary. I'm going to do a blacksmithing demonstration here. I'm going to show you how to make a simple project. It's a beginner's project. If I'm teaching someone, this is one of the projects that I will start them out with. It's pretty simple, but it's also it's making a useful item that you can keep and have forever. And that's one of the things I like about blacksmithing, or I love about it, and I have fun about doing it, is because when you make something and you make it good and make it to your specifications, and you want to keep it or give it away or sell it or whatever, it lasts pretty much forever. And here we go. What I'm going to make today is called a beam hook. I got some irons in the fire over here. I'm going to point the camera down just to get started with the demonstration to the anvil, and hope we get a good shot of it here. I'm going to go over and get the irons. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is put a point on this end of it's 3/8 round steel. Kind of go slow. I can talk while I'm doing this. Put the point on here, you'll see. This is not the hook part. This is the other end. I'm going to put some texture on this because this is brand new iron or steel, and I just like to put some work so it basically shows that it's handmade. Here. So all I did was put this point on it, and it made it so square. You notice that? And I got another iron in the fire, and I've already done this too, and I'm going to work on the next one because I have two hooks I'm going to be making. I'm going to work on this end of it. It's flat now, or I mean it's straight, just like it comes out. It's when you buy it. It's a round, 3/8 round, I said. I'm going to draw this end out a little bit more and then round it up. First of all, what I did first there was torch it down square and do a taper, longer taper. Point on the end of it. If you're making a taper and making it round, you always make it square first. Now I made this tapered, and it's also longer than it was. It's also square. I'm going to put it back in. We'll bring the other one out and do this to it also. And I'll tell you about that when I get here. And we'll do the same thing to this one. Pretty good tuck. Square, 4 sides. Put some texture on the back here. Pretty much the same thing, a square taper. I'll bring the other one out. Now when you're making a square taper, after you get it square, you pound down the corners, and what you have is an octagon inside. Once you get that, then you start rotating and make it round. That's the procedure when you're making a round taper. Square first, make an octagon, and then round it. See, I'm moving it on every hammer blow. I'm moving it. Bring it up here. Okay. Okay, that's finished as far as the forging I want to do to that, as far as the taper and making it round. We'll do the same thing to the next one. Down the corner. Now I'll start rounding it. Do lighter blows up here on the end where it's pretty skinny. Done the same way. This one already hot. Okay, here's where some of the fun starts. This is where you start making something pretty. I love to make little scrolls. That's what this is. It's a little, people call it a lot of things, pigtail, a curly Q. It's actually a little, really a little scroll. You see scrolls in ornamental ironwork. See right there, that's all I did to that. Put that little curly Q on the end. Alright, and this is all hot. I can bend this, but I'm going to put it back in the fire, do the same thing to the other one, and I'll show you the next operation. Like I said, this is part of the fun part. We can make something like this and just move this metal around and shape it and form it to what you want it to do. You can learn to be very creative this way. One of the things that practice doing and you get better skill at it. Same thing. Put it back in the fire. The other one should be hot enough now. And what I'm going to do with this one, when I bring it out, I have a bucket of water down here. I'm going to, that little curly Q on the end, I'm going to dip it in the water so it's cold. You'll see it turns black. It won't be red or reddish like the rest of the iron. That way it won't, when I can hammer on it and I won't squash it down and make it and squeeze it close together. You'll see what I mean. Okay, I'm dipping in the water right now. Alright, you see how it's darker? Now that won't bend because it's hard, it's cooled off. But I can pound right on it and it doesn't bend that little curl. Otherwise that curl would just get flat and it gets squashed. But I can actually pound right on it. Now we're getting, brush it off. Most of these you'll see them, most blacksmithing, just rubbing the scale off of the forms on here. That's the gray stuff. It's coming off of the steel. So right there, that's one more operation. That's a hook, but it's straight. I mean, this part's straight. Here we go again. Dip it in the water. Get it black. Pound on it. Get it started over again. Same thing with this one. Put back into this end. I got one more operation. What I'm going to do, this piece here that's sticking up in here, I'm going to turn it so it's a right angle. And I'll show you why. I'll tell you why. Okay, here it is. You see how it's straight? I'm going to put it right here and I'm going to bend it over to a right angle. That hook is totally finished. And the reason for this is a beam hook is because this is actually a nail. When you put this hook up on the wall to hang it, all you do is drive this in, let's see here, with the hammer, drive it right in the beam. And I say a beam hook because it's made for like a beam and a log cabin. We have upright beams, heavy beams in the walls. But these beams can be used, I wouldn't use them in drywall, but in a garage on 2x4s or in a shop, they work great. I mean, this is simple to make. I'm gonna dip it in water, cool it off. I'm gonna do the blacksmith finish, which is just plain old beeswax. Gives it a nice coating. I tell people it's as good rust preventive as Rust-Oleum. And that's it. It's finished. Like I say, put this in your wall, and it'll stay there for hundreds of years if somebody doesn't take it. I'm gonna dip it in water. Cool it off. I'm just gonna set it over here to let it cool off. Bring the other one out. Do the same thing to this one. Turn the forge off so. So noisy. Okay. Level it up a little bit. Alright, that's the next finish. It's all finished except for the, I'll cool it off and put some beeswax on it. Okay. Off a little bit more. Right now, like I say, this cool this one off all over so I can hold it in my hand. Fingers. Okay, I can hold it with my fingers now. It's all cooled off. Let me get. You're gonna get 2x4 here. I'm gonna show you how this is installed. It's so simple. Imagine this 2x4 is an upright beam in your shop or your garage. You see, you got a hammer. Hope you can see this. Yeah. Okay. One, two. That hook is installed on your wall, just like that. That simple. Like I say, it's going to stay there for 100 years if nobody does anything with it. But that's a nice little project. It's a beginner's project. And if you're really interested in blacksmithing, I would encourage you. Anybody can do this. I don't care if you're young or male, female, or old. You can learn it. You can start learning it. There's hundreds of ways. YouTube is full of blacksmith tutorials. I'm just getting started in the tutorial part, making the videos, but I'm going to start making them maybe two times a week right now. Once I get a little bit better at editing and posting videos, and I would like to hear from people, and you can subscribe. I don't even know how to do that, but I hear everybody else say that. Subscribe, and you can find out when I put on videos. And if you have any questions or you have any information, if you want to have any comments, do that. If you like it, push the like button. If you don't, let me know why. Anyways, I'm gonna have something to do, and probably a couple more days I'm gonna put on another video. So happy blacksmithing, happy forging, and God bless. We'll see you next time. Bye.